Welcome back to the Lisa Nichols Show, where you and I together gain the tools, the mindset, the awareness to live the life that we want, to transform what is into what we absolutely dream, to make our dream a reality. And this is that time when we come together and we share ideas, read each other's comments. Today we're going to do things a little different.
Yeah, so we have a really special show for you. We want to do something different that we haven't done before and really just take it out remote. One of our favorite things that we get to do is read your comments and take in some of the questions and the things that you're learning, your BOLs and your remarks, and really just kind of engage. And we have conversations all the time about them, about what you guys are posting. And so we thought, let's just have a conversation with you about your comments and some of the questions that you guys ask.
You know, what I love is that you come out and you come out in different forms. You come out in comments, you come out on Facebook, on Instagram, and you have things that you want to get clear on. You have things that you want to solve. And you have graciously and wonderfully and humbly allowed me to be a part of you finding that next best season in your life. So decided to bring out our team. Of Kent and Tavia and Tracy, got us out of the office, all of our remote offices, and said, let's do two things. Let's answer your questions.
Yeah, and let's talk about something that you guys ask a lot of things about. So one of the things that kind of comes up a lot is around fitness, around your weight loss, and how good you look. Yeah.
Wow. I'm still working on it, but thank you. Thank you very much for all of your acknowledgement. It's been a journey.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that today, and we'll talk about other things, but I'm gonna be very transparent with you. So did you bring the tissue? Can I use your shirt?
We'll just be wiping. Look, that air dry.
Right. So in the meantime, since we're going to talk about fitness, we thought we'd take a walk. We are close to my backyard. This is my backyard. Not all of it. I don't own all of it. Don't start passing around stories. But this is right outside my house. It's a private trail to my community. And we thought we'd just take you on a stroll. So how about we take a stroll and have that conversation?
Yeah. So one of the questions that actually comes up quite often is, you know, for some people, just exercise and fitness and motivation is something that's hard to get up, get out of bed, and get in movement. You know, so what is for you in your journey, and what has been the biggest obstacle that you've had to overcome to get motivated?
To get motivated in general, for me, I don't get motivated by thinking about what I have to do. Like, I need to get up early. I need to, you know, when it comes to sales, when it comes to, I don't get excited about making sales calls. When it comes to traveling the world and transforming lives, I don't get excited about getting on the plane and having TSA pat me down. What gets me motivated is I get connected and I stay connected to what happens when it all works. So I'm real outcome, like all the way to the end.
Right.
All the way. Like I go, so when this is all done, like I just go, wait, when this is all done and it's over, what already happened?
Right.
Very different than what's happening.
Right.
What already happened, I speak to it as if it were past tense, and then I go, how would I feel if that had already happened? Because what I realize is that a mindset, a thought process is limited. A feeling? Man, feelings can drive, they're the fuel to everything. They're like the turbo boost. So I get connected with the feeling as if it were already done. So I have to take myself on a mental journey. So that's where visualization comes in. So I'm real big on visualizations, informal. I don't do like formal reading the book. I go, hold on, what do I want? Long before Jelani was an adult, my son, I pictured he and I as adults having a great time because he chose me. Does that make sense? And that kept influencing me to spend time with him when he was 12, when he was 10, when he was 9, when I really wanted to go to bed. I was tired, and you know, I was so tired I couldn't afford the R. I wasn't tired, I was tired. I was tired. And so when it comes to fitness, and I gotta just say, I am not a fitness guru. I'm a woman who you may not know, many people may not know, and a lot of people do, but I was obese for 19 years of my life. And so I would look at weight release, weight loss, as I just don't want to be fat anymore. That's all. I was into what I didn't want. I never let myself sit into what does being fit feel like.
Which I think a lot of people can relate to, and that's one of the comments is we get stuck in where we are right now, and really don't look at what is possible. And what was the big shift for you to look to make that change from where I am right now to what's possible? Like, what was it for you? I'm gonna have us hit this hill over here while we talk. So if we grunt, if I lose a little air, don't mind me, because we're gonna get on the turf, the real terrain. I figured we might as well talk about this on the rough terrain. If we're gonna talk about the rough terrain, let's get on the rough terrain. There we go.
It's the journey, right? It's the journey. So Tavia, come on up here. So people often ask me, what was the moment? Let me be clear. There wasn't a moment. There were a million moments. Like what I got, you know what I mean? Like what I got really clear on is that the way my life looks today is a culmination of a lot of very small choices. There was never one big choice. There's a big choice to change my life. Nope. There was one choice that started with, I'm going to read a book so I can find out what I don't know. Because what I know got me here. I don't even like being here. That was in 1994. So obviously I need to know more. So it was a small choice. And then I made another small choice. Read the book again, because you probably missed something. Then I end up reading the same book 6 times. Which
people a lot of times will make comments like, I had to watch this video on the show.
Multiple times.
Every time I watch it, I learn something different.
When you step on my campus, I don't ever say watch a video once. Watch this video at least 3 times. You're going to think I said something that I didn't say the first 2 times. I said it. You just was hearing something else I was saying. And so how did I begin to make the mind shift was, first, I began to focus on my mind shifting. See, everyone's so into your life shifting. I wasn't even that. I believe that when my mind shifts, my life has to follow. That was my belief system back then. Well, I've proven that that's the case, because I didn't change anything before I focused on just changing my mind. So I started studying, looking at programs like this over and over and over again. I was like, my family thought I was crazy, because no one that was teaching this back then looked like me. No one. Like, it just was different. It was older white men, you know, and so all of a sudden I'm following on and I'm trying to share with my family and my friends, and like, you must be cray-cray. Like, it was just wondering what was going on. But I was feeding myself. You know, I was hungry, and then I would make one baby step. And I'm real big on, if you learn something, what does living like you learned it look like?
That right there.
If you learn something, if you really say you learned it, if you really got a hashtag BOL, what does living like you got that BOL look like? Because if your life looks the same, then did you really get a BOL, or was it just like some, you know, food nugget, like some chicken nugget? Like, it was just
like the chips and salsa.
It's just
did you get a meal or you get a salsa?
Did you Or my grandma said, did you get a snack? Did you get a meal or a snack? So the shift was, I began to feed myself something differently. I really I became a consummate student. If I am a good teacher, it's because I am a better student. Duality. Like, some people start becoming, you know a little something, and you forget that you don't know a whole lot more than what you do know. And so I kept looking for, what don't I know?
And do you think that people get stuck in ego when they don't want to be the student again?
Oh my gosh.
Like, I see people that are masterful in what they do, but struggle because they think that they can't show vulnerability in being the student again.
Absolutely. Well, what happens is people take away their permission to learn because they think that if they learn while they're teaching, that it discredits their ability to teach.
Right.
And the reality is, I want to learn from a student too. I want to learn from someone who's a teacher and being a student at the same time.
Right.
Because if you're not being a student while you're teaching me, I'm going to learn everything you know and catch up to you. So I always say I only pour into people. I only speak into listening ears, and I only want to pour into empty tanks. So I say, you empty your tank, you come empty, I come full, I'll pour everything I have into you. Because when I go sit at someone's feet, I come empty, which means come knowing nothing.
Right.
And you always know something, but don't come saying, oh, I know that.
Right.
Oh, I know that.
And there's so many
Oh, I know that.
there's so many opportunities that you miss out when you're in that.
Can I tell you, when someone, and people do this to me all the time, someone will ask me to coach them, or that, can I sit with you for lunch?
Right.
And it's one of those divine moments where, like, the universe just opened up, and you just end up being across from me at a conference, and I'll say sure, and they'll ask me a question, and I go to answer the question, and they go, oh, I know that. Right. And then I said, okay. They asked me another question. And I'm not trying to lead this conversation, because here's what I don't try to do to everyone that walks by me. I don't try to coach everybody.
Right.
I am fine just eating and having a chicken salad. And
like you really want to eat.
And if they say I know that 2 or 3 times, then I say, well, why don't we just enjoy lunch together?
Right.
Because why don't we say we'll just enjoy lunch? Because you don't need to learn anything. You know everything that I know, at least.
Right.
There might be someone else that can pour into you. Whenever I sit with someone, I don't care if they're saying something that I already know.
Right.
I won't ever peep the words, I know that.
Yeah.
They don't know that I already know that. I go, that's good.
Right.
Especially if I know it already and it was good the first time I learned it, I'm going to say it was good again.
Yeah.
Because repetition is not just the mother and father of learning.
Right.
It's the mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, and second cousin of learning.
Right.
So if they're telling me again, all that's doing is confirming what a wise person knows. And so I just became a student. I became a radical student to learn. I was willing to disrupt everything I knew. I would go to conferences where I was the only person of color, the only woman, or the youngest person by 18 years, and I didn't care. I wasn't looking for familiar.
Right.
See, we try to get into a new experience looking for familiar. What that sound like? That's like, if you think about it, well, I'm not comfortable because everything's so different. Well, I think you want different.
Right. So one of my favorite sayings that I think it was you that said that is that we miss out on so many opportunities, not because opportunities don't exist, but because we don't allow ourselves to experience something different.
Yes.
And that was so huge, because then it opened up for me personally, and I've shared this with multiple people, and they felt the same way. It opens up the space for expansion, for new possibilities.
Right. Well, here's the reality. I love that. Not because I said it, but I love the way it sounds. I love the way it sounds when you said it too. But here's the crazy thing is that everything that's going to grow you, expand you, and give you what you don't have sits on the other side of your comfort zone. Right. Like that's some juicy stuff. Like when you just think about it, and you have to live in that knowing, because it's going to constantly grind against you. It's going to constantly challenge you, because you don't necessarily want it if it's on the other side of your comfort zone. You don't wake up every day and go, ooh, I can't wait to be uncomfortable today. I just can't wait. I am looking for some discomfort today. Bring some discomfort on. You don't wake up looking for discomfort.
No. Right.
But everything you want that's beyond who you are today lives on the other side of your comfort zone. Everything you're comfortable with, been there, done that, so 08. You already been there, done that.
Right.
And so people say, why am I not growing? Because you won't ever go past your comfort zone.
Right.
You feel the grind, which is why I have a trainer. Because I believe when I get to 15 squats, it's it. Somehow she get 20 out of me.
So let's do a squat.
Okay.
So we can show everybody squat.
Look how y'all looking at you. Okay. So here we go. Are we gonna stay there?
Yeah. All right.
So when you get down like this, And you sit in it for the first few seconds, you're like, okay, I got it.
Right.
And then for the average person, when it starts to burn, like for me right now,
Right. Like
when
real,
when it starts to burn, you like, hold on.
Right.
But what my trainer taught me is every time it burns and you go, can I do 1 more second? Can I do 2 more seconds? Can I do 3 more seconds? If I can get to 5, I'll be all right. Can I do 4 more seconds? Okay, I got to 5. Now can I do 1 more second?
Right.
Now can I do just 1 more? Yes. Now can I do just 1 more? And when you feel that shake occur, that's when things are happening.
Right.
And most people don't want to go to that place. Get on up. Most people don't want to go to that place.
And it's funny that feeling of like, I did it.
You're right.
Like
you're on the other side of it now, right?
Right.
You're on the other side of it now, right? You're on the other side of it now.
So what would you say to somebody who is at a place where they know they need to make change, they understand the mindset? What would be like 2 or 3 things to help them? Look, I'm out of breath. 2 or 3 things that they need to do to be in action, to make that first step.
So, can I just say this?
And the reason why I ask that is because everybody's so action-based. They're like, okay, give me the, number one, there's not a pill. There's not a magic, real quick, do it and get it done.
Right. So, I think a couple of things. I think the first thing, before you start doing something, stop beating yourself up for what you haven't done. Everyone wants to start with, what do I go grab a hold to? I'm going to start with, what are you willing to let go of?
Come on.
Like, because you trying to grab a hold of something new, but your hands are full with blame, shame, guilt, regret, anger, reasons. So I get it. We all want to hold on to something new, but what are you first willing to let go of? Because if you're going to hold on to something new, but you still got the same blame, shame, guilt, regret conversation, at some point, if that doesn't work, you're just going to add 1 more block on the what I didn't do pile. Which is why people don't want to try another relationship if the previous one ended and they haven't healed from it, because you're bringing the same conversation into the next relationship, right? And so the first thing is to go, what are you willing to forgive yourself for? What are you willing to have compassion? This is the craziest thing. You talk about fitness. For years, I struggled with my weight. I struggled. And I went to a detox. I went to the detox. And they would run 2 miles. Power walk or run 2 miles, and I didn't want to do it. I was scared. I don't know if I could do it. I was upset. I was just so disrupted at this detox because it was so in my face, right? And so I stayed inside, and I was inside while they're running, and finally I looked down at my body, and I was 220 pounds at the time, and I just started going, I so secretly hated my body. Now, I mask it well because I'm a motivational speaker and, hey, I can put a sexy twist on anything. So I masked it. I masked the dissatisfaction I had with my body with how successful I was in the world.
Right.
I got 1 bestseller, 2 bestseller, 3 bestseller, as if that would make me feel better over here, and it didn't, but it did distract you.
Right.
It did distract you, and it distracted me. Right. I didn't seek out to be a lie to anybody. I just was trying to do something that I could control because I felt like I couldn't control this. So I'm in the multi-purpose room. Everybody's doing 2 miles. I'm in there by myself feeling like a slacker because everybody running 2 miles. And finally I said, you know what? Thank you, knees. Because you carried me over some rough terrain. Thank you, shins. Thank you, feet. Man, you walked a whole lot of miles for me and Jelani. Thank you, hamstrings. You're strong. Thank you, stomach. I apologize to you. I've looked at you with blame and shame. I've thought nothing but negative things about you. But you carried my baby. Thank you, breast. I complain about how you are morphing into something I didn't ask for, but you fed my son. You nurtured him. Thank you, arms. Like all of a sudden I started going through my whole body just on my own.
Right.
And something was happening to me. Like next thing I know, I don't know how long I've been doing, maybe 15 minutes, tears are just streaming down my face.
Right.
And then the next day I did it, and this woman said, "Can I join you?" And she joined me, and about 20 minutes in, this other woman came and said, "Can I join you?" And they're crying. And I am not a teacher here. I'm just a woman trying to heal her body. The next day, like 7 people joined me. They're like, can we join? I was like, okay. I got my hat on, y'all. I got my sweater on. There's no Lisa Nichols present anywhere.
Right.
Next day, because this camp was like, this detox was like 10, 14 days, right? Remember?
Yep.
And all of a sudden I look up, there's like 30 people. I got it on video. There's like 30 people. And I'm walking through, and I said, what the heck? I ain't come here to facilitate. And everyone's crying. And that was the beginning of my body morphing into what I wanted it.
Appreciation.
The appreciation. Yeah. I had to take the gloves off and stop beating it up. I had to stop playing the blame game. I got myself here. That's the reality. Right. And then I get to drive and get myself somewhere else. But it had to start in me appreciating what I was working with.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was a long journey.
And we hear people talk about being in gratitude. And I don't think we don't take gratitude in ourselves and appreciate ourselves. We appreciate the external things.
Right.
But don't take necessarily that gratitude internally.
Right. Well, receiving acknowledgement from others is hard.
Right.
I mean, it sometimes I used to have such a hard time when people saw me. Right? You're that way, huh? Right? Like we want to minimize it.
Sure.
Like, no, it was nothing. No, it was something.
Right.
But I also realize that it's even harder for us to turn around and acknowledge ourselves. Mm-hmm. Like I lived a life of under acknowledgement. But I realized the people who weren't acknowledging me because they were following my lead. I wasn't acknowledging me.
Right.
That is your job to show people how to treat you.
Right.
And people are following your example. So when you say, I don't need help, they go, oh, okay. When you say, don't worry about me, they say, oh, okay. When you say, y'all go ahead, I'll be all right, they say, oh, okay.
Right.
And I realized, whoa, hold on, I set this up.
Right.
I set this up. All the stuff that don't feel good, I set this up. Damn. I remember I used to say, who wrote this damn story about my life? Who wrote this story? Who's holding that? Who wrote this story about? Who wrote this story? Oh, damn, that's my arm. Oh, damn, Gina. That's my arm.
And my arm hurts.
Right, and my arm hurts. And I don't even like what I'm writing.
Right.
And so that's when I went, hold on, let me first celebrate me.
Right.
Let me first have a bedtime. I'm tired of passing out.
Right.
Let me have a bedtime. Right?
Look, I'm raising my hand because that's me.
Right. Let me have a bedtime versus passing out. Let me own my yes.
Right.
By owning my no, I can't do that right now. Let me turn around and be willing to say, good job, Lisa.
Right.
I'm big to say, good job, Tracy. Good job, Kent. Good job, Tavia. Good job, Matt. But I've rarely heard, good job, Lisa.
Right. And doing that without feeling guilty or feeling like that you're being arrogant or bragging. Yeah.
Well, what happens is we mistake martyr for humility.
Right.
I'm a suffer. I'm a suffer till he come back to get me. That no, there's no spiritual God, whatever you call it, Allah, Buddha, whatever, never says suffer. Suffer while you're here.
Right.
That's the story we made. Like, I'm not supposed to suffer to be a good person. I'm not supposed to be unhappy or in lack to be a good person. I'm not supposed to live in scarcity to be a good person.
Right.
I can be a good person and thrive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I can be a good person and live in abundance.
Right.
Matter of fact, good people should do well.
Right.
Because when good people do well, we do more good in the world.
Right.
So, right here, this is where most people want to stop. Right here. Right, on the climb. Because right here, everybody bend down a little bit. And right here is when you got to engage your back. You got to engage your quad. One step with your right foot, y'all. 1, 2, 3, go. You got to engage. And then you do this and you realize I got to put even more energy to get this left foot. This is saving money. This is forgiving someone. This is turning around and saying, you know what, I'm sorry. That was me. That was my ego. On the count of 3, left foot. 1, 2, 3. And then you go, well, I took one big step. I still got to go. Scoot over some, Matt. I still got to go. And all of a sudden, all you do at this point, when it gets like this, Tracy, come out in front, because I know you. That's what you want to be. Tracy, look, Tracy is not to be behind. Tavi, you right behind me? And the reality is, when you begin to climb, come on, y'all, when you begin to climb, somebody is right behind you, and they're watching the way you climb, and they're stepping into your step. Stop right here. And then something happens, and it sits you down in the middle of the hill. And you look up like we're looking right here, and you like, well, dang, I'm not even halfway up this hill. A death in the family, lost your job, a relationship ended, and we do something. We sit. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with sitting. There's not. Sometimes you gotta sit to catch your breath. You gotta sit down. I was in an abusive relationship. I looked up 5 months from my wedding, and my fiance choked me until I passed out. And 3 days later, threw me 3 feet across the room while my invitations was in the mail. What do? I sat down. But the mistake is, people stay there. And they just sit here and they just watch the rest of the hill. And they watch everybody go by them. You guys know somebody, right? We all witness it, and we can't save them because you can't drag me up the hill. You can encourage me. You can remind me that I got what it takes to get up, but you cannot. It's unfair to you for me to expect you to lift me and carry me up the hill.
And so often, don't you find that we, as people that care about others, we try dragging.
You want to drag me.
We try pulling you up.
And guess what? You can't go the degree that you should go.
Right.
At the pace that you should go.
Right.
And then if you let me go and you go, most of the time people go with guilt. And the reality is, it's my choice to sit here.
Right.
And so I tell you, if you're sitting down, that's okay. I sat for a year, y'all. I sat for a year. But the commitment you have to make is you don't take out real estate when you sit down. You don't take out real estate in the middle of the mountain. You don't do a rent to own or a lease option buy. You do a California roll and stop through it, right? And then you dig some more.
And one of the things that we don't do often enough is when we do stop, we don't take the time to turn around and look at what we've already done. Yeah.
The journey.
Yeah.
You know, I always say that tells you when you look this way, it's your to-do list. And everyone's looking at their to-do list. But when you look that way, that's your to-done list. Like, I got a lot to do.
Right.
But I got a lot that I've done.
Right.
You know, and recognizing and then celebrating yourself.
Right.
To go, wait, hold on. Celebration is, you know, we're like kids. What gets celebrated gets repeated.
Yeah.
Throw yourself a party. A small one with a cupcake. Gluten-free. Vegan.
Right. Go to
No
the beach.
sugar.
Go for a walk. So that was one of the other things that a comment that had come in is, how do you celebrate and without having to do like a cupcake or a cake? Like, what are other ways of celebration?
Oh
so
my
like
God,
for
so many
me,
ways.
going to the beach and just spending time you know, and connecting with nature, putting my feet in the sand. Like, that's celebration.
Yeah, can I tell you how I celebrated myself on my birthday? On my birthday, I celebrated myself by going bike riding.
Yeah.
Did you see me bike riding? Did you see? Did you see? And I did the middle school bike ride where I didn't sit down on the bike the whole time. I was standing up on the bike the whole time. I had so much fun. Like every fiber of my body was alive.
Right.
So celebration can look in many different ways. It doesn't have to be around food, and that was a big thing for me because as an African American, every celebration was around food, and I was like, let me tell you what I'm not gonna do again. Yeah. I ain't getting big again. So let's hold on. And then I learned how to cook differently as well. But celebrations, like to me, celebration can be anything. I took my son and we had a jumping party because we lived in an apartment and we lived on the second floor. So we could never, ever even walk.
Right.
Like they would do the broom, our neighbors would do the broom. And so when we moved to our house, we invited all my cousins, his little cousins over, and we had a jumping. Do you know they're 20 and 25, and they still talk about Auntie's jumping party? We had like old hot dogs and stale chips at that jumping party.
It seems to me like we forget to laugh.
Yes.
Yes.
Like to just laugh.
Yes, and to recognize how healthy it is to experience some form of laughter and joy. Recently, I took the men in my family to a comedy show for Father's Day, just because I wanted us to have the act of laughing, but also recognizing when you're going through a storm, there's power in seeing the light on the other side.
Right.
That could be that's your moment of laughter. You may not laugh, but seeing that light right on the other side of that storm, just a glimpse. You don't have to see a floodlight.
Sure.
I'll say, show me a floodlight or a flicker.
Right.
I'm gonna take either one. And let me tell you, I've been in some tunnels that was so deep and so dark and so long. I was like, was that a flicker? I'm gonna call that a flicker. I'm gonna walk into the light, walk toward the flicker, right? And so, you know, and those are those moments when you gotta go, what's gonna drive me? What's driving me?
Right.
And what people think is that it's selfish for something for you to drive you. It always has to be about somebody else.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. Self-care is not selfish.
I love that.
Self-care is not selfish. Something for you should be driving you, and we should all be the beneficiaries of you being an amazing driver. Like that's how I believe. I love you from my overflow.
Right.
But I love Lisa first. Like I can't love you when I love me.
Self-care should actually be mandatory.
Yes.
Like it should be something that is just as important as making those calls, as going to the doctor. In one of the new episodes of Mornings with Matt, I talked about in one of the new episodes of Mornings with Matt, I did an episode on how we treat our cars better than we treat ourselves. We schedule to go in and get our oil changed. We schedule to have the maintenance.
Only, by the way.
Right, and we'll schedule or we'll pay for the premium care for our car, but yet we put crap in our body.
Yes.
And we eat horrible food.
And the other part of that is that we know when it's time to fill up the tank.
Right.
With our car. We don't even question that, but yet we run around on empty.
Right.
All the time. On fuel.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What is that, hangry? That's right.
Right.
It's 2 o'clock and I haven't eaten.
Right.
What does that look like? Oh, that looks like hangry on my face. that looks like hangry on my face.
Yeah. And it was the funniest thing to talk about and realize how guilty I am and have to make the shift of it's not only selfish, but it's not selfish, but it should be mandatory to take the time. Self-care should be in the calendar, to take some time to rest, to take a power nap, a 20-minute, just let your body recharge itself.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things that I realize is that guilt has no glory. And yet we choose so many things to feel guilty over. I used to sneak and get a massage. What the hell? I'm grown. I own my company. I've worked hard. Why am I disguising it as an appointment? Why do I feel like I need to sneak to take care of myself? Like, why is it that Margaret on our team? Why does she have to push me and trick me into getting a spa day? What is that about? And especially when it comes to self-care. But I also realize that a lot of my being willing to take care of other people before I took care of myself was because I was loving other people more than I was loving me. I was loving other people. And loving other people was easier than loving myself, because it was easy for me to forgive them because I didn't know what they did.
Right.
It was difficult for me to stop holding myself hostage to old thoughts,
Right.
old beliefs, and old decisions. I shoulda. I woulda. I coulda. It'll kill you. So the woman you see today is a culmination of a whole lot of poor choices, a whole lot of forgiveness, a whole lot of press and reset,
Right.
and asking for a whole lot of help.
I love that, and I want to thank you, Lisa. I want to thank you for many of us being an example of possibility, of being the flicker, of being the light, of knowing that
Amen.
we are not our past, and for many people, you give us hope.
I give you what I needed. I remember praying to God when I was 19, because I was suicidal at 19, by the way. And I said, God, if you give me the will to live, I promise you I'll spend a lifetime helping other people to be excited about their life. So in many cases, I'm keeping my word. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I'm grateful that I'm healthy enough to even pour into somebody. Like, that's the first thing. And I'm grateful that you would want to even listen. I'm blown away by my life. I'm blown away by the impact. I'm a servant leader, disguised as, or whatever they call me, whatever the title is. Kim, what's the marketing title? Whatever the bio is, the truth. To keep it 100, I'm a servant leader. I just ask to be used. Use me. I don't want to leave here with anything in my body. I don't want to leave here holding out on anything, saying I was waiting to get ready. I was waiting to get ready. No, don't get ready. You woke up ready. I woke up ready in all my imperfection. Because it's my imperfection that you love. Right. It's my imperfection that you see yourself in. Right. It's my get back up that you get back up in. It's my press and reset that you forgive you. It's in none of my perfection, because that doesn't exist. It's in the imperfection and learning how to manage and dance with the imperfection. I've learned how to dance with my imperfection, because I know that I have the ability to fall.
Right.
So do you, so do you, so do the cameramen, so did everyone. Falling is not what you focus on. It's how you gonna wobble back up. Do the wobble, baby.
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble.
You know, some people will spring up and some people will wobble up.
Right.
You know, come on. No, absolutely. This is a real life video, so it happens on trails. How are you doing today?
I'm doing beautiful.
Isn't it a wonderful day? It's a beautiful day.
Enjoy the rest of
Thank you. You as well. And so, you know, I appreciate your acknowledgement. I think we all want to make sure that while we're here, the dash between our birthday and our transition day means something.
Right.
We all want that. We all want to say, God, while I'm here, let my life mean something. Let it matter to somebody. Let it inspire somebody. Let it help someone to wobble back up. Let it hold out my hand and grab somebody. Let it be the flicker for somebody or the floodlight to somebody. We are all saying that. That's why we're here on this channel.
Right.
Is that we're all seeking and searching for that. And so I'm grateful to be in the orchestra. I'm in the band, you know, I'm in the band, you know, and all I want to do is play my sound right.
Right.
I just want to play my sound right. I'm not the band. This show ain't a solo.
Right.
Right. If you ever heard me sing a solo, you know that you don't want me to sing a solo, but it's a part of the band. And that's why I'm grateful that you're here. You're here. so we can hear our tune. And our tunes change over the years.
Yeah.
You know, like my art.
they should.
As they should. As they should. Shoot, at one point I was a, what is that, banjee? What's that?
bongo?
I was a bongo. That was it. And then I was a flute. Ooh, that was it.
How'd it go?
Ooh. Ooh. I was a flute, you know, and today I'd say I maybe have a few pieces
Right.
in the band, you know, but it's just an evolution. So thank you. Thank you guys for joining me, not just on this walk, but on the walk in my life.
Yeah.
You know, and what I love is that we represent humanity right here. We represent that it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter where you started, whether you were single parent, whether you were no parent, whether you were absentee parent, whether you were two parent, whether you were 2.5 parents because you were between houses, however you started. Black, brown, white, man, woman. We all represent all different cities that we come from, you know, all different backgrounds. And the reality is the human spirit has no color.
Right.
The human spirit has no religion. The human spirit has no social economic status. The human spirit is simply waiting on a command. Who do you want to become?
Come on.
Who do you want to be? What lives do we want to inspire? The human spirit is waiting on a bold, audacious command. By the way, the human spirit don't want no little wimpy command. Well, I'm trying to get up the rest of this hill. Well, we already got that. We already got that.
Right.
What else do you want to do? Do you want to pull another 1,000, 2,000, or 10,000 up the hill after you?
Right.
The human spirit is asking us, be together, play together, because the answer to your question could live in this woman, and the solution to my greatest desire could live in this man. And they may not look like us, walk like us, talk like us, eat like us, but they're the very thing we need.
Yes.
So let's be each other's oxygen.
Yes.
You know, that's what it's about.
And you guys, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. Thank you for letting us step into your space over and over again. So many of you guys write that I watch a video every single day. And so thank you for trusting us to step into your space and to just share our journey. You know, we're not perfect. We're not anything that's put on a pedestal.
Not at all.
We just allow ourselves to just show ourselves more. And
The best version of ourselves today.
Yes. Yes.
Right, right. And remember that this is not a monologue.
Yeah.
We're not here to just talk to you. This is a dialogue. What is it, Tracy?
It's a dialogue.
It's a dialogue. And your comments are important to us.
Yes.
We want to hear from you. We all read your comments, everybody in the company, in the community. And so what about this particular episode warmed your heart? What did you need to hear? What was your BOL? What was your breakthrough out loud? If this is your first time looking at a BOL as a breakthrough out loud, what was your breakthrough out loud? What was that moment you felt like you were right here on the walk with us?
Sitting down or standing up.
Right. And if somebody makes a comment on there that you can relate to, let them know that they're not alone. Put in there YANA. You are not alone, Yana, and let them know, because I think that's one of the biggest things that I love reading is how people say, "Hey, I feel you, sis. I feel you, brother. I've been there," and supporting each other.
And remember that I'm your sister. This is your tribe. And when we say that we love you and we believe in you, it's because
We do.
We do.
we really do. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.